Hello, everybody. Thank you for wishing me a happy birthday. Thank you for thinking about me that I'm doing well, and wishing me a happy belated birthday as well, as my birthday was 2 days ago, and I made it to like 27 years old, and it's been 6 years. I've been 21 years of age. In 6 years, I became fully legal, being at the age where you have to be 21 to drink and being legal to unlimited restrictions. And I have resolutions to make from after my birthday and what to do throughout the year that I haven't planned of. And I have goals that I want to predict of what can be expected, especially months to months, especially with what I want to event to establish. I really have indeed that I have authority in the will and the talent to start like an e-commerce business. And I have the protocol of the tools and also have the energy of work to put into it. Because it takes whatever what I want to do is I want to stick to one page and a chapter to be focused on and put how much time, how much progress and deadline for me to complete what to submit and get things out there, tested to be approved to be out on the market. Because there's lists and chapters, regulatory and legislation forms that I gotta get approval of to just clarify if it fits into the category of food, cosmetics, supplements, supplementation facts. And just briefly understand what kind of results that the person is going to have in of what I've made and what's created by me. We want to sell what people will get the results to, and I want them to be accomplished of what I can assist them with. And I want to direct them to the right site, get them directly to the right page. I just have to practice like business etiquettes and ethics to the desire of the benefit. And there is a long list of chapters you really have to study and keep in remembrance of, because whatever you think you want to do, what you can be good at, just keep understanding it's it's a load of a process of what it takes to be into a process of understand what it takes to be patient and what you are wanting to be expected of. There's the thing is it's a list of what you want, the potency of it, and how long you want it for. Like putting it like study the compound of it this way. Like you want to put it this way. Like understand what kind of service you want in your own business, especially customer service business. You have authority to choose your options that you're open to, that you are limited to. For example, you could set a limit to your options, saying that you don't have to offer a phone service in business. You can only like do like emails. Let's have a conversation that way, just like I'm doing a live chat. It's easier that way because the thing is, when you have a long schedule and you have a business, you always be your best bet into communicating electronically, because with phone calls it could be a lot of stressing to your mind and your health, and you start feeling like you're getting a headache, and it makes you want to retire from there. So do whatever that keeps your energy in long stable of condition, because whatever affects you has control over your hormones and also your health. And you can't let the age have control over you. You let the choice have control over you and what you are choosing from. There's so many selections you can make your choice from. You can make your moves on. You always want to make your right move to get you to the right directory and the right directions. You want to be the right person. You want to find the right person to be reached to. And you got to understand what kind of manners, what kind of ethics the other companies are going against. Because there are unethical and shady businesses out on the market. Because what people tell you, what people label, just keep in mind what you see or something, it's just made up. They're just writing it from their mind. They're not even thinking. They're not writing what they experience. They just put it out there just to get people's spending. That they're just there to get people's money. Understand the ethics. Like, always choose what kind of options that sounds professional in you. Just like when you own and have a business, always stay away from subscription a month and just use like single transaction fee. And always choose money back guarantee. Get your cash back or something if somebody's not satisfied with the products. Because it does not it sounds like it's nonsense to just I'm speaking to, it's nonsense to just for some of your customers to make a purchase. They're not satisfied with the product and they don't get their money back. It's not fair to them. You you always want to spend something that works for you, that has been giving you the results. And you have to understand that everyone is structured differently, especially in their chemistry. That whatever works for me, it may be a chance it may work for them and not work for them. And it has different reactions on everyone. Like for example, just because I'm in my 20s and the other person's in their 20s, it's 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 gonna work totally differently. And just because something is out there, it's never gonna be 100% guaranteed. And just keep in mind that nothing is gonna be guaranteed that's 100% that's gonna live. Because it's just like you're buying property to a company, and and the thing is, once you're selling it, that means you're taking your own company out of the retail brand. And you know and you have to understand that when you first starting off on what you sell in the market, you always provide samples before you sell the product to the person, because one single item, you understand and estimate the cost. Then understand what you're adding into it, then you make an extra cost. Then you multiply how many ingredients you're putting in the bottle, and especially in the blender. Because anything you want to establish, you have to register your ID to taxes and tax regulations. And I have to do a lot of studies and research for me to become the CEO, become the capital, and become the principal to my company. And you want to watch what kind of image you're posting to your business, because it may turn people away for their appearance. And you're making them not want to be interested. So you want to get people directly to be interested in, for them to enjoy your service in that kind of manner. And you want to be a high quality customer service as well. When it comes to email responses, it's just like me taking care of my emails like I usually do every day. Everybody out here have smartphones, and people who have smartphones, a lot of business people and general people that have smartphones, most of them have laptop computers, because the reason why it's used for, because it's a lot for do with homework, social media services, and the assignments that they were objected to. And you want to get yourself out there for especially speaking in an audience of like 25 to 30 people, and that's how you become a lead in brand company. And get yourself at the top stages from like the bronze, the silver, and the gold. And gold meaning you're the out leading entrepreneur performer. You're the outstanding lead man. And you know there are competitive companies that are out there that are trying to launch their business, and think about what are the vendors you're choosing from. Always go from a reputable vendor before you start engaging to do business with that kind of company, with the fulfillment and the warehouse services, because there's services that requires you to store items in. And the thing is, when you get started on one assignment, type like a chapter of a page. And I would say, keep in mind that 6 pages to 8 pages is a chapter. Then you then you go to the next step to a chapter. And understand what kind of the business flyers you want to get marketed on, just to advertise to the people. You want to find the right people to get directed to, and you want to get in contact with people who like your services, and you want to know a list of what the professional manners are. And you know what the professional manners are for like business? Let the customer email you first, then you reply to them. Because you know, for me, when I started business, I don't just send an email. You can't just send an email randomly to a person to get you to buy the products. That's like soliciting something that's unauthorized. And they don't know what's inside of it. That might be the risk why you don't take things that people try to offer you getting. And you just want to understand courtesy of the feedback and a review, because you want to keep your company at a good rating, because you know with companies out there, there's a lot of common violations, especially when there's like a risky company out there. That means they've been found with something that was unsafe. It poses a threat and a risk to the person's health. Then they got family people taking the company, especially the founders, to court for their lawsuit allegations to the products. that was reported from, especially what they've have violated. You just got to keep in mind and understand that when somebody took something by accident, it's already too late that it became a result to them. Because you got to understand, there's one thing you do wrong, it already becomes a result. Then they file reports for what you did that is under your name, that was made by me on my case. Because you sold something to a person, they did not like what they experienced, because how it affected them in a certain way. And, for me, in my background, for me starting a business, they know I have the faith, they know I have the talent, they know I have the power, I have the strength, I have the dedications, I have the potency of starting my label. But I have to keep my recipe so unique in what to sell to another person. Because you want to sell people, you want to sell items that people would know what the milligrams are of what they're putting in their bodies. Because if like, put it this way, if someone didn't take enough time, do the research, did not do the study, they took the product, they would have accidentally harmed themselves. Because it could have been my responsibility or the other person's responsibility, but my main responsibility is putting the references down, but you have to get them approved, right? Because I'm not going to copy something and just post it on a page, especially without my permission. Because you're not supposed to get paid, and it wasn't your work. It was somebody's project you did. You're not supposed to earn anything, especially if you didn't have permission from that other person that belongs to the person's name. Because of that, he does not know what you're reliable for to prove that case. So, like anything you do, if you want to sell something that somebody made, you must have authorization from them and get the proof from them saying they affirmed, they accepted it. Then you're allowed to do so. So, for me, with my studies, with my research I do, I've been like really, really knowledgeable to that source, especially what's made that goes in the bottle, what goes in the soda can. There's varieties of the formulas that people put in the common names. For example, like pre-workout, whey protein, I would say it's thousands of them. Add 100,000 of those names from 100,000 of those companies, supplement companies. You just got to keep in mind when you say what it means a lot, it may appear to be 100,000 in that meaning. You have to understand, like, there are certain compounds that are approved by FDA, Food and Drug Administrations. Like, it falls into like federal laws with the Food and Drug Administrations, and they're regulating the GMOs, especially generic modified like food. To me, it's just genetic. It's just genetics to food, and most of the food shops on street vendors, you don't know what they contaminate these days, especially what's coming from a foreign country that comes in Asia, like China or India or Pakistan, especially the Asia nations. Those continents don't have that kind of level regulations that the United States laws have, especially on the North American side of the other side of the continent. Because the thing is, people are not taking their time to check what's inside of the fruit and vegetables, especially with their agriculture land. There's so many health laws that's out there on this legislation, what they're trying to outlaw. And in the state of California, they're really, really getting tight with California prop laws for most of the health reasons, especially with these chemicals, because California is one of the biggest states in America, and it's more of an industrial state with the resources they have, especially in the Los Angeles County. And the reasons why they're making so many amendments to the health legislation acts. It's just for a crackdown to health crisis, crackdown to harm to the health environment and the health nations. They're just protecting people being harmed from what is going through the pollution surface. There's so much of the science is being regulated in humans for like health wise benefits. Like, yes, indeed. Because the thing is, you got to put it like by law. certain cities allow certain businesses to be permitted in those areas, just like supplement companies, food places. It's just that you have to pay taxes to the city, and you have to go through the process of of food and business regulations, because like, I think there's hundreds and hundreds of pages of what the regulatory guidelines are. And the thing is, with getting a license, it takes a process from when you apply from the beginning. Then they ask you to take a test to pass, and they do background on you. And you know what background, they're getting tight with the background on what nation you're from, what citizenship you have, especially you have a visa and you want to start a business in America. And for me to have a retail in a city, like a store building, it takes lots and lots. It takes chapters of a process, especially to be ready to be launched. Then it takes a line of the process that you must do background checks on the hire people. And for me, I might be strict and kind of enforced with pre-employment drug tests. It's just like I keep a monitor on people I trust. I have to search people these days to make sure nobody's carrying nothing that I'm not knowing what it appears to be. Because these days people are hiding their truths because they're just greedy. They're just greedy. They just want their pocket full of the money. And this is why you have to bear with it. Bear with me on that. And really understand. You have to understand, like, you have to understand that you have to label warnings. This does not cure, treat, or diagnose. We have to tell you that you have to consult your qualified licensed doctors and background on medications you've used, especially what kind of health problem you have, what kind of addiction you have, what kind of substance you've been using in the past. Because the thing is, what you take may be a red flag risk of what could be an indicator too. Because you got to understand, it's a yellow sign, orange sign, and a red sign. And the red sign is like a severity risk that you seriously must avoid, because you don't know how dangerous the effects are to what you're putting in you. Especially regardless to the symptom you have, what the doctors have gave you. You know, you got to put it this way, what it tells you. You have to understand what kind of qualities that a pharmaceutical level is versus a vitamin versus a supplement. Because the thing is, you have to honestly, literally label a supplement that has a natural need to you, natural result you need. Like you cannot label pharmaceutical ingredients into supplement products because you're undefining what the risk is to it. And you got to be aware a lot of companies are doing the wrong things, especially if the people who own the brand, the particular brand. And, you know, some of them decided to quit their businesses because they want to retire from there, then just move on to the next step. And when you have a brand that's owned, when you have a business, insurance is owned, you have to have limited liability company because that can lower your chances of you getting sued. Then the attorneys can take care of it. And you want premium insurance to your business, just in case something happens to them and I own a product and sold the product to them, that I must be responsible that the person took something that was harmful to it and I own the product under my name. I get sued. Just because you get sued doesn't mean necessarily you lose a license. That means you just have to pay what your agreements are to that accordance. And you want to practice a lot of strong labeling and get it tested by laboratories. You want to prove that you're really strict and how honest you're being to your own business. Because there's a lot of, you know, that's especially with 90% of those companies that I want to be in business of, it's been ineffective to them. They've complained that it has not worked for them. The thing is that you got to keep in mind, the thing is people want to label anything they want to put in a bottle and not have them test it. And most people blame it on the regulations, the government, not just the FDA. It's just the government that doesn't keep a quick eye on it. And the thing is, the news is, governments don't require testing what's inside those bottles these days. Because think like, if I make the product, I must take it. I must confirm that it worked on me instead of me launching it on their market. The beginning step is you always want to have a stack of sample packs you send the person. Make sure they like it. Make sure they are wanting to buy it. And making sure we are satisfied with their service and their review. Because, honesty, me, you have to look at what's advertised and what you see. That may be a misleading marketing manner to the people. Because, you got to keep in mind, people copy and just pasting things on page. You got to keep in mind these days of what people are doing, what people are trying to hide. Because they're desperate. They just abruptly want their cash is being directly to their accounts, to their wallet, to their pockets. Then you have to put taxes into it. I want to have a variety of positions where I can market to hire people, especially when I launch the products. And I got to get the people that I want to work with as well, that can be my role model and my mentor as well. And I briefly would like to keep in mind that I always want to be with the right people that can get me to the right directly. Because, companies out there are not going to help people for what they want. They're out there to make their money. They're out there to have their company living. They have to have secrets for them to keep their business, especially what belongs to the company on site. And for me, I want to have secrets on how I make things, so I can have earnings, keep the earnings, and make it fair for my business and for companies. Because be aware of what you do that may get the person out of the company of what you're doing. And I just want to keep planning and get with it and get focused with it. Meaning when I'm focused on one task, I must get stuck on it for like an hour and finish things at certain times and what needs to be done from time to time range. Because I have stories I want to write, I want to publish, and I want to do whatever it takes for me to impress people, making people feel proud of me. I want people to say good feedback about me, because whatever people say about me, they're just thinking about me the way my performance is. Because I like to hear what's positive in me, because when people say positive means the thing is when people say positive things about me, that means they love me. They want me to achieve. They want to care about me. They they want to worry about me just to make sure I'm doing good to them. There's a lot of things that inspires me to get committed to, and I want to inspire them as well. Promote people to give them the right expression. I want to promote things that will create a good image of others.